Imagine you are watching a film, fully immersed in the plot. You're drawn to a central character, a hero, a villain, a mentor, or even a trickster. And despite the vast array of movies or books out there, you feel like you've seen this character before. Not just in this particular movie, but in others too. In fact, this character seems to echo figures you've encountered in stories throughout time, from ancient myths to modern sagas. This isn't a coincidence. The concept of archetypes, those universally recognizable character types, symbols, and themes that transcend cultures and eras, has existed for centuries. In fact, they've been around since the beginning of storytelling itself. And it was the brilliant psychologist Carl Jung who took this ancient concept and helped us understand its psychological depth, linking it to the human collective unconscious. So, what does it mean when these archetypes continue to appear in modern storytelling, from the films we watch to the novels we read? Why do they have such a lasting impact on us? And how does Jungian theory, which explores these deeply ingrained patterns, illuminate the ways we relate to characters, narratives, and even ourselves? In this essay, we're going to explore the archetypes in film and literature and apply Carl Jung's theory of archetypes to modern storytelling. We'll dive deep into the characters we love, fear, and admire, and see how they are shaped by the timeless psychological patterns that define us all. Welcome to The Unfolding Journey, a place where we explore the intricate world of storytelling, psychology, and the deep connections that bind the two. Here, we'll take you on a journey of discovery, unraveling how the ancient wisdom of Carl Jung intersects with modern films and literature to shape the stories we tell and the characters we connect with. Whether you're a fan of cinema, literature, psychology, or simply fascinated by the human experience, this channel provides a space to explore how archetypes shape our understanding of ourselves and the narratives we consume. From superheroes to tragic heroes, from the villain to the mentor, the world of archetypes is richer and more profound than it might seem. If you enjoy exploring the deeper meanings behind stories and how they reflect universal human experiences, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to The Unfolding Journey for more insightful discussions like this one. Now, let's dive deeper into the fascinating world of archetypes and discover how they continue to influence modern storytelling. Before we dive into how these archetypes play out in contemporary storytelling, it's important to understand the foundation of Carl Jung's theory. Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who proposed that the human unconscious is not just personal but collective. This collective unconscious is made up of shared memories, experiences, and patterns that all human beings, regardless of their culture, carry within them. Within the collective unconscious, Jung identified a series of archetypes, universal, recurring symbols and characters that are embedded deeply within our psyche. According to Jung, these archetypes are not only present in our individual lives, but also manifest in myths, fairy tales, dreams, and, as we will see, modern storytelling. Jung identified several key archetypes, including the hero, the central character who embarks on a journey, faces challenges, and grows in some way. The shadow, the darker, unconscious side of the hero, representing repressed fears and desires. The mentor, a wise figure who guides the hero through trials and tribulations. The anima/animus, the feminine anima or masculine animus, aspects of the unconscious, often appearing as love interests or internal forces. The trickster, a mischievous, often disruptive character who brings change or challenges norms. The herald, a character who appears at the beginning of the story, often delivering a call to adventure or a challenge. These archetypes represent different aspects of the human psyche, and when they appear in stories, they tap into deep, shared emotional and psychological experiences. One of the most significant applications of Jungian archetypes in modern storytelling is in the structure known as the hero's journey. This narrative framework, famously outlined by Joseph Campbell, echoes Jung's ideas about the hero's archetype and the transformational journey that character undergoes. In the hero's journey, the protagonist leaves their ordinary world, faces trials, encounters allies and enemies, and ultimately returns transformed. Let's take a closer look at how these archetypes appear in familiar stories. The hero, Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. Luke Skywalker is perhaps one of the most iconic representations of the hero archetype in modern cinema. He begins as an ordinary farm boy on Tatooine, unaware of the larger forces at play in the galaxy. Luke's journey mirrors the stages of the hero's journey, the call to adventure, when he finds a message from Princess Leia, crossing the threshold, leaving Tatooine, facing trials and enemies, fighting Darth Vader, and ultimately returning as a transformed person, a Jedi Knight. Throughout his journey, Luke exemplifies the hero's growth, from naive farm boy to wise and courageous leader. Luke's development is grounded in Jungian psychology. He represents the self-actualizing individual, discovering and integrating both his light and dark sides, particularly through his conflict with Darth Vader, his shadow. The Shadow, Darth Vader in Star Wars. The Shadow archetype is often the darker counterpart of the hero, an antagonist who embodies the unconscious fears, desires, and traits that the hero must confront. In Star Wars, Darth Vader serves as Luke's shadow, representing the dark potential within Luke himself. Vader's presence forces Luke to reckon with his own darker impulses and fears. This confrontation with the shadow is a necessary part of Luke's journey towards self-realization. Darth Vader's character, too, is deeply symbolic. His fall from grace mirrors the Jungian idea of repressed traits surfacing in destructive ways, and his eventual redemption shows the possibility of integrating the shadow rather than allowing it to control us. The Mentor, Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings. In The Lord of the Rings, Gandalf represents the mentor archetype. He is wise, patient, and knows when to intervene and when to allow Frodo and his companions to find their own way. Gandalf's role is to guide the hero, provide wisdom, and protect the journey. He shows the importance of mentorship in personal growth and how wisdom is a key element in overcoming trials. In Jungian terms, the mentor archetype represents the wise aspect of the psyche that aids in integration. Gandalf helps Frodo connect with his higher purpose, guiding him not just on a physical journey but a spiritual one, towards self-discovery and the battle between good and evil. The Trickster archetype is represented by characters who defy conventional expectations and bring about transformation through their chaos and unpredictability. One of the most compelling tricksters in modern film is the Joker in The Dark Knight. The Joker, played by Heath Ledger, is not just a villain but a force that challenges the moral and social structures around him. His presence shakes the status quo, forcing characters and the audience to question the nature of good and evil, order and chaos. In Jungian terms, the trickster embodies the irrational, chaotic forces of the unconscious that disrupt the balance. While the trickster may be disruptive, they often play a critical role in breaking down illusions, pushing both characters and societies toward necessary change. The Joker's role in The Dark Knight is to push Batman into a moral and psychological corner, forcing him to reconsider his ideals and his role in Gotham's survival. While the archetypes themselves are universal, their manifestation can vary across genres. Whether it's fantasy, science fiction, romance, or psychological thrillers, archetypes play a key role in crafting engaging and resonant stories. In romantic comedies, the hero may be an ordinary person struggling with love, while the trickster could be the best friend who challenges societal norms around relationships. In psychological thrillers, the shadow archetype often takes center stage, manifesting as a character's darker nature or an antagonist that reflects hidden fears and desires. In superhero films, characters like Batman and Spider-Man embody the tension between light and dark aspects of the self, struggling to balance their heroic personas with their flawed, human realities. Each genre offers a unique lens through which these archetypes can manifest and evolve, reflecting the diversity of human experience while maintaining a deep, psychological resonance. Jungian archetypes provide a framework for understanding not only the structure of modern stories, but also our collective psychology. These characters, symbols, and themes represent universal aspects of the human experience, our struggles, triumphs, fears, and aspirations. From Luke Skywalker's hero's journey to the Joker's chaotic trickster role, these archetypes continue to shape how we relate to stories and ourselves. Understanding these archetypes enhances our appreciation of the narratives we consume, offering insights into the deeper psychological forces at play. Stories are more than just entertainment. They are reflections of our unconscious minds, offering us both a mirror and a map for navigating the complexities of life. If you've enjoyed this exploration of Jungian archetypes and their influence on modern storytelling, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to The Unfolding Journey. Join us as we continue to unpack the deep psychological and philosophical layers of the stories we love. Stay tuned for more videos that dive into the connections between mythology, psychology, and storytelling. Thanks for watching, and keep unfolding your journey.